The next thing to do is create a new stroke pattern. And the stroke, of course, is the line in which the buoy symbol is placed. So we'll go to the usual Edit and Create. This time we need a stroke pattern. A stroke pattern shows up as a new stroke pattern. We need to edit this, of course, to our buoy line. Change that to buoy line stroke component and press Enter to save it. Make sure that it's changed in the Components section. And now notice what's happened below. We're seeing a single continuous line, which is the default for a new component. And below we have some settings that we can make for the attributes of the stroke pattern. We're not going to change the shift distance, but just keep in mind that this is where you would offset the line from the center if you were trying to build a multi-line similar to the ones we used in the previous set of videos. If you offset by a distance, as we did in multi-lines, you can then, in this case, generate a custom line with multiple space lines therein. We'll leave that exactly as it is. And repetition is unlimited. We don't want to restrict the number of strokes in this pattern. And below, we have the actual stroke pattern itself. And right now, that's represented by the continuous line above, but we need to add the actual strokes and gaps for this line. Now, the line I want to create is shown below. We have a series of dashes, which are 3 master units long, followed by a gap of 2 units, followed by another stroke of 3 units, followed by another gap of 2 units. We're going to build this stroke pattern. So we need to add a segment of this stroke pattern. So we click on Add, and the segment pops into place. Now it's already highlighted for you. That slight depression is a highlight. And now we can set the parameters for it. The length will be fixed, but it could be variable. The length we know we need as 3, so I'm changing that to 3. And the stroke type is not a gap, but it's a dash. So change it to a dash, and this dash segment pops into place. Now we need to add the first dash, so we add again. This time the new segment pops into place but is not highlighted, so you must select that to highlight it before you continue. This is definitely a gap, and its dimension is 2 units. We'll change that to 2, Enter. So there's my dash, there's my gap. Need to add another dash, highlight the segment, change the value to 3, and change it to a dash. The new dash pops into place, and add the last gap. Add, select the segment, change the value to 2, gap is selected, so just press Enter. And there's the stroke pattern now completed. And we should save this immediately. File and save. Excellent. Now just to quickly recap, when you're building up a stroke component such as this, typically you're working with dashes and gaps. And if so, you will add a segment to the definition, highlight it, and then set the parameters for that particular dash or gap. Please make sure you understand the process. Now, having created the stroke pattern, the next video will show you how to associate the buoy line symbol with the stroke pattern that we've just created.